Hello and welcome to the stream. This is going to be possibly a preview to maybe some merch coming up. I don't know. I just want to know how you guys think about the book I'm writing. And let me get a few more minutes set up, and then we'll begin the reading. And please share the stream with your friends so they don't miss chapter 1. And I will be back when the stream begins, and I will start reading. So if you're ready for me to start reading, please let me know, because I'm about to begin in a couple seconds. Give me a few more seconds. I'm almost ready. So now we are going to be reading chapter 1, and last call to join before I start reading. You do not want to miss chapter 1 or you will have no idea what's going on, or chapter 2. So please type in the chat if you're ready, and we will begin the stream reading. Okay, and if you're viewing this on YouTube, hi. We're just waiting for people to set up. So now with the out of the way, let's begin the reading. Godzilla Rise of Shin Godzilla by Chuck Freeman. 2020 Legendary Pictures, all rights reserved. Toho, all rights reserved. Godzilla, Rodan, Mappa, King Ghidorah, Shin Godzilla, Destroyer, Mechagodzilla, all rights belong to them. Just getting that out of the way so I don't get copyright claimed or sued. And so, special thanks to my dad who inspired me to write, and Fad3_Nexus on Discord for the cover. And now let's begin. Chapter 1, our story so far. The end of the world is something you don't believe could happen. I especially believe this, but even I cannot forget everything I've seen. How it all started, and I found this book in a pile of garbage, so might as well write in it, not let it go to waste. So here's how it all began. It all started about 10 years ago, sitting under the old oak tree in my backyard, the wind blowing really hard, the leaves brown and crusty as they fell to the ground. I've always loved this time of year. The smell of cinnamon in the air combined with the satisfying crunch of the dead leaves just makes me relax, especially after a long day of high school. As a senior, I not only have to deal with annoying freshmen, I have to deal with annoying teachers. And today was no exception. The day started awful. I woke up an hour late because I slept in. I rushed out of the house and running through the halls of my school, I was stopped by Miss Coraline. "Excuse me, Judy Jones. Would you mind explaining why you are running in the halls?" "I'm sorry, Miss C. I was running late and was trying to get to class." She looked at me with a confused expression on her face. "What do you mean running late? It is 7:05 and there's late start today because the teachers are having a meeting. So school doesn't start until 8:30. "Oh, I did." "No excuses, Judy. That is 30 minutes detention after school for running in the halls." She pulled out her hand-sized notepad and scribbled on it and handed me a pink slip of paper. "Walking next time," she yelled as she walked away. "Are you freaking serious?" I said to myself. Then later on, two damn freshmen kept grabbing my ass. So I yelled at them, "Stop touching me, assholes." "Or what? You do realize that's considered sexual harassment. What's going on here?" I turned to see who it was, and guess who? Fricking Miss Coraline. "They were grabbing me, Miss C," I said, flustered. "No, we didn't. We were just walking behind her when she yelled at us." "Judy," she said, "do you have any proof that they were harassing you?" I looked over and hoping to spot something like cameras, something I could use to back me up, and then I spotted a camera on the top right of the hallway. "Look," I said, pointing. "There's my camera up there that will show them grabbing me." Miss C looked up at the camera while I caught a glimpse of the freshman. Let me just say, I've never seen two boys with more terrified looks on their face. Well, I'll have to get the security guard to investigate this. But in the meantime, you two boys will have 2 hours of detention for potential sexual harassment. Judy, you will add another 30 minutes to your detention for disturbing my class. Then, if not another word, she walked back into her classroom. But at least I wasn't bothered by those annoying freshmen the rest of the day. But you see what I have to go through? Anyway, like I said, I love this time of year. "Judy, are you out here?" I looked up. "Yeah, Dad, I'm coming. My dad and I have been alone ever since my mom died. I was only 4 when it happened. He won't tell me how she died, but I'm guessing it was Godzilla, which only fuels my anger toward the Titans. Dad told me about her and what she was like, but I can't picture her." I jumped to my feet, feeling the leaves crunch below me, and I headed into the house. The rest of the night was the same as every night: dinner, bed, sleep. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day, I say as I let myself drift off to sleep. Darkness, peaceful and quiet. But suddenly, the darkness shattered into thousands of little pieces. The bright light filled the hole that once was pitch black. I put my hand up so I could see what caused it. A shadow of a moth with a girl standing on its back. She waved her hand and shouted something, but I couldn't make it out. But that voice sounded so familiar. Then I realized, "Maria?" I shouted at the person. Then without any warning, she let out an ear-bleeding scream. I covered my ears and turned to see a monster of a unicorn horn running at me. I screamed, "Gah!" I woke up with a jump. What a confusing and terrifying dream. I don't understand what it was about either. I glanced over at my clock. 6 a.m. Same as every morning. I can get ready for school and eat breakfast before 7. After that, I'm dressed, I grab a bowl of cereal, and sit down on our old gray couch. Guess I can watch some TV. Picked up the remote and turned on the TV. Nothing on as usual. Oh, what the heck? I'll watch the news. I flipped through the channels until I reached Channel 8 News. Earlier today, the president announced that the military will be attempting to kill all Titans with a new weapon under development. They have not released any information about the weapon at this time. Interesting. But knowing the military will most likely fail and only make the Titans stronger. I might as well continue to watch the news though. But suddenly the TV shut off by itself. Well, okay, the screen went black while the TV was still on. So it was weird. The flickering stopped, and a man wearing a white lab coat and a black mask appeared. The man stared for a few moments before he began to speak in a raspy voice. Hello, who are all watching. Kids, parents, more importantly, the president. I am giving all citizens a warning. I will release a monster all of you have been aware existed. The frozen monster known as Shin Godzilla. I have stole this creature's DNA and will use it to create a brand new monster along with the new Godzilla Shin. All women and children have 24 hours to evacuate. Then the man stopped and began laughing hysterically. It was honestly quite frightening. Did you really think I would let any of you live? After everything all you have put me through, I would let anyone survive? He again started to laugh hysterically. I could tell this man was not right in the head. I stood there confused, maybe petrified. It's been a while. I don't remember. But the freakiest part was when the TV went back to normal. And reader, I'm not kidding when I say this. I straight up fainted. Again. Oh, wait, no. Chapter 2. Disaster Strikes. Again, I see darkness. The empty void has once again returned. Then I see it. Shin Godzilla. It was tall, about 400 feet tall, with a very long tail. Its body was black, with red pulsating veins running throughout its body that were visible from the outside. Had short arms like a T-Rex and dog-like feet. Its jaws could unhinge like a snake, and the tip of its tail was red, blood red, with a mouth on it. It could fire what I've heard called atomic breath, aka a laser, out of its tail and mouth, in fact. Damn snake monster. But it just stood there. Then I saw him. The black lizard-like foot crashed on the blackened floor. As I slowly looked up, I realized that this was the king who killed Ghidorah, Godzilla. He roared a deafening sound as I fell to my knees. But while I saw the two monsters fighting, all was interrupted by an explosion. All went still. I opened my eyes, feeling my bed sheets cover me gently and keep me warm. I sat up, feeling the start of a bruise on the back of my head. The aftermath of fainting, I guess. I noticed the alarm clock on my dresser to the right. 11:30. Well, that's just perfect. I'm late for school. And then I realized, what the hell? I've been asleep for 4.5 hours. I grabbed my phone off the dresser and started texting my best friend Maria. Me, can you catch me up on what I missed at school today? I get a reply almost immediately. Her, what do you mean? School is canceled today. Confused, I ask, why? Again, she replies, we've been ordered to evacuate the city. I guess there's some sort of Titan heading this way. Shocked, I hopped out of bed and yelled for my dad, hoping he didn't leave me. Dad? I ran to the living room, spotting him on the couch. He had his hand on his chin with an expressionless face, as if he was thinking. I walked around the couch so he could see me. A few moments passed before he saw me. Oh, Judy, when did you wake up? Maybe a few minutes ago? Maria texted me and told me we were supposed to evacuate. So are we going to go? I waited for an answer, but he just sat there, staring at me. Dad? He jumped off the couch and dragged me outside of the arm. Jeez, I said. He shut the door behind us, and then I saw the street. They were filled with thousands of screaming people, running for their lives. Scream! The sound echoed across the sky, and I turned up and looked. I turned and looked up. My heart dropped. It was Rodan. The monster's lava-red veins pulsated throughout its volcanic rock body, glowing with heat. The horns on its head curved like a ram's. I could see the Titan getting ready to fly overhead. The three of us continued to run. As we ran, I noticed the house of a fallout shelter in the front yard. I shouted and pointed out to my dad. He rushed us over and threw us in. He was getting ready to get in when Rodan flew over and swept my dad in the air. I never saw him again. I nearly ran after him, but Maria grabbed me and shut the door. Maria sat me down next to her, and I sobbed. But that didn't last long, because the next thing I heard was footsteps. Huge footsteps. Followed by Godzilla and Rodan's roar. The ground shook tremendously. Then the doors flew open, and a big black foot crashed right next to the shelter we were in. Rodan stood on Godzilla's shoulder, biting and clawing at him. Godzilla roared in pain, trying to grab Rodan, but he was having trouble reaching him. I turned to see Maria grabbing her head in agony on the ground. I ran to her, asking if she was okay. I grabbed her head to make her look at me, and to my horror, her eyes were completely white and trembling. I screamed in terror as she opened her mouth to scream, but no sound came out. Then she opened her mouth again, and she made a monster-like noise. like a hoarse neigh mixed with an angelic voice. Then Maria crashed to the ground, passed out. I sat her up against the wall with her legs spread out and her long black hair against the wall. I ran back over to the doors to shut them. Then I heard the noise that Maria had made before she passed out. I looked overhead and saw a giant moth. Then I remembered the news. It was Mothra. Godzilla finally grabbed Rodan and threw him to the ground with a bang. Now I understood. Mothra was there to help Godzilla. Rodan flew off the ground and collided with Mothra, knocking her to the ground. Then Rodan went in the sky and started to circle Godzilla and Mothra. He swooped down, talons out, and landed on the top of Mothra. Then Rodan froze. Mothra had impaled him through the neck with her stinger. Godzilla grabbed the bird and held him to his face and roared. Then he threw him into the air, and with a quick blue light, he fired Rodan with a blue beam of light known as atomic breath, turning him to turkey. Chapter 3, Alone, Lost, and Depressed. This will be the last chapter for the preview of this book. Just to let you know, I turned and ran over to Maria to see if she was okay. I shook her to wake her up, which took a long time. It didn't help me. She eventually slowly got up and sat next to me. We sat for a while. I had to process what just happened. I just lost my dad, for real. I have no parents, no house, and all I have left is my best friend. We made our way outside, the blinding sun shining in our face. Once our eyes adjusted, the destruction was unfathomable. Pieces of buildings covered the ground. What was even worse was seeing the burnt and decomposing bodies that littered the street. I bent down and threw up after seeing that. Maria, do you know if we can go to your house? She paused and then took me by the hand and walked at me. We walked a while before she said something. Back in the shelter, when I had that headache, it felt like my head was splitting open. But what was weird was I kept hearing a woman singing the word Mothra. We didn't say another word to each other the rest of the way there. I couldn't help but wonder, though, was Maria connected to Mothra? No, that couldn't be. That's silly. But I can't rule out that possibility. Anyways, we walked up what was left of a driveway. There was no house, just rubble. Maria, where are we? She fell to her knees, sobbing. I realized we were at her house, and it looked like there were no survivors. I sat next to her. This time I needed to comfort her. No, we needed to comfort each other. I searched through the rubble, hoping to find something we could need, like a radio or first aid kit, while half expecting to find a dead body. But all I found was broken pieces of glass that cut my damn hand and a small walkie-talkie. I flipped through the channels, shocked this thing still worked. But eventually I found our local radio station. I called Maria over so she could listen. A sunny fall day in Washington, interrupted by Rodan, the fire demon, but the monster's reign of terror was cut short thanks to the help of Godzilla and his partner Mothra. Now, in other news, but similar, the man who interrupted our broadcast this morning is, as we speak, meeting with the president to come to an agreement, though the internet is being called Dr. D. Ha! I know what the D stands for, I said out loud. Maria punched me in the shoulder and laughed. We continued listening. Any survivors of the Pierce County attack should make their way to CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Seattle? Me and Maria say. That's like 15 to 20 miles from here. There was no way we were going to walk that. So we needed some kind of transportation. But where the hell were we going to find that? Especially now. So we were going to have to walk a bit. I shoved the radio in my back pocket, and Maria grabbed the first aid kit, and we headed north. Soon we entered Rainier Avenue. It looked like it had been decimated. Could a Titan have come through here? I didn't hear anything about this on the radio. Did this just happen? I looked at Maria, who said to me, "Look." I turned and saw. She was pointing at a car dealership. We ran over to it and saw most of the cars were destroyed. So it looks like we weren't going to ride there in fashion. She grabbed me by the shoulder and said, "No, we're not. We're not going to have to walk." I looked and saw a 2007 convertible PT Cruiser. I know this doesn't matter, but I was nervous that I didn't have my driver's license. We made our way down the freeway toward the stadium when we noticed a roadblock. The police got out and told us to get out of the car, which we did, and one of them asked, "Are you to Pierce County or Rainier?" "Pierce County," I said. Then they let us pass, but not with the car. which was stupid in my opinion. The stadium was filled with at least 1,000 people. I looked around trying to spot my dad, but I never saw him, nor did we see Maria's parents. Then the Jumbotron started to flicker, and the man from this morning appeared, this time through the mask. He had a red outline. Hello, once again. And from the way his voice sounded, I could tell he was pissed. Your president has refused to meet my demands, and because of that, you leave me no choice. I hope all of you have enjoyed living, because now you are all going to die. Goodbye, everyone. Then the Jumbotron shut off, and everyone started screaming and panicking. It was at this moment I realized. I turned and looked at Maria in horror and said, "Oh my God, he's releasing hell on earth." So guys, that was a preview of the book that I am currently writing. Let me know how you guys think in the comments. I really would like to know if you guys would like this as merchandise or if you would like to see more of it. Let me know down in the comments if you would like to see more. And that is going to end this stream off. And if this is on YouTube, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss daily uploads Monday through Friday. And with that out of the way, I'll see you next time, guys.